is up, everyone? It is your man on fire mentor, David Mailer, coming to you live. And as always, it is an honor and it is a privilege to be diving into the center of the fire with my brothers. For those of you that have never joined one of my podcasts, I am here to support men in standing in the fullness of their potential. We all are here to have more passion, more power, and more purpose in our life. And no man wants to leave this world with any regret. He wants to leave it all on the table. He wants to make sure that he gave, he loved, he served, he did everything in his power to give the world his true potential. And we need men to challenge each other. Iron sharpens iron, and we must be a stand for one another to illuminate the masculine leadership that we came here to live into as a man on this planet. And in doing so, one of the greatest responsibilities that you will ever have as a man is to be the guardian, the gatekeeper of the sacred feminine heart. Meaning all the women on this planet, the little children, the girls, looking at them, seeing how precious, how alive, how playful, full of life, full of purity. It is our job, it is our responsibility to protect the heart of the feminine. And that little girl once becomes the woman. Perhaps she is the woman that you marry. And one day, unfortunately, some of us become the one that stomps on their heart rather than the one that protects and guards their heart and becomes the gatekeeper. So it is up to us, gentlemen, to rise. It is up to us to elevate our consciousness and to stand in the boldness and the courage of who God made us to be. So for those of you that are not so familiar with Man on Fire, this is what it's all about. It's about supporting men, challenging men, and holding men accountable to live into the fullness of who God made you to be and leaving nothing on the table and going out with victory and triumph, knowing you gave, you loved, and you served with every ounce of your being. With that said, let's dive into today's topic, which is your excuses are destructive. All right, what do I mean by that? What are we talking about as we now dive together into the center of the fire? We as men have the ability to take full ownership and full responsibility for our lives. What does that mean? That means that we recognize that if we want to have a different life, if we want our life to look differently than it currently looks, we don't have to look any further than the mirror. We don't have to point the finger. We don't have to name. We don't have to blame. We don't have to shame. We don't have to judge. We don't have to project. We don't have to look for the magical pill, potion, lotion, or genie that's going to save us or fix us or change it all or make it all go away. We don't have to look to our past and our history and blame it and blame our parents or blame our current partner or our ex or our wife. No. If we want our life to look differently, we can take full ownership and full responsibility that our life looks exactly the way it looks because of only one person, and that person is the person that you see in the mirror, yourself. That means that you no longer point your finger outward. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, I've shared that most of humanity, while it's afforded the beautiful privilege and rite of passage to go through 12 tiers of consciousness, 12 different stages of healing as taught to me by one of my teachers, Donnie, most of humanity will sadly live in the lower stages. Stage 1 is suffering, where you feel victimized, you feel unworthy, you feel helpless, you feel hopeless, you feel like it's never going to go away. You feel unworthy, you feel unlovable, you feel alone and isolated, like maybe you don't fit in. A lot of people live in this state of consciousness. And then some people graduate out of that and there's a little bit more energy available, and now you're pissed off and now you're angry, and now at least you could point your finger outward and you could say it's his fault. It's her fault. It's my father's fault, my mother's fault, the government's fault, the religion's fault, the culture's fault, the city, the state, the country that I live in. It's everybody else's fault. It's my boss. It's my customer. It's their fault. It's their fault. And so a lot of us live in this space of blaming. and looking outward for why things are the way they are. And then some of us, if we're lucky, we graduate to that next tier of consciousness and we realize that we are the common denominator. We realize that we are the ones that are stuck. We realize that I can no longer point my finger outward because I'm the one that's repeating this pattern. I'm the one that's on the hamster wheel. I'm the one that's on the merry-go-round going nowhere. It's my pattern. I'm stuck. And it's at that point where a man will either decide enough and start to draw a line in the sand, put his sword in the ground, and say enough, no more. No more selling myself short. No more selling my family short. No more selling humanity short of the man, the father, the husband that I was born to be. That's where you start to take back command of your own ship, of your own mind, as opposed to letting the pirates take over your ship and lead you to that island called How the Hell Did I Get Here, where you don't understand why your life unfolded the way it unfolded. Very few men make it even to the fourth tier of consciousness, where you reclaim your boundaries and your self-respect and the capacity to control your mind and control your thoughts, where you are once again the captain of your own ship. No, what happens is we might say enough of this. We might get frustrated in stage 3 and say enough in stage 4, and then we quickly fall back down into stage 2 or stage 1, blaming, naming, shaming, judging, projecting, or falling into an even lower energy state of feeling unworthy and unlovable, isolated and alone, helpless, hopeless, resigned. Who can relate to that as you're thinking back on your life, or maybe thinking of a family member, or maybe a previous version of yourself? So when we talk about that your excuses are destructive, what I'm referring to is that if there's a life that you want and there's a life that you're living and there's a gap, and more often than not, what prevents us from filling that gap, from walking across that rickety bridge, which of course has a lot to do with just having courage, which is something that we teach men. How do you embody courage? How do you own that in your physiology? How do you own that? How do you get it in every cell of your body where you're oozing, emanating, you're encoded with the energetics of owning yourself? So we're scared to walk across that bridge. And what ends up happening is we have reasons, we have stories, we have justifications, we have excuses. And it's become too common, where the great addiction that we've fallen into as a man is we get to bitch. We get to complain. We get to have problems. And we got therapists that'll listen to it. And we got friends and family that'll listen to it. And on and on and on you go with all these excuses. Well, if I had more money, then I'd do it. Well, if I had gone to college, then I could make more money. Well, if she hadn't divorced me or cheated on me, then I'd be okay. And you got enough people listening to that crap, nodding their head, instead of saying, stop it. Stop it with the nonsense. Stop it with the excuses. Stop it with the reasons. Stop it with the stories. Stop it with the lies. Stop it with the limiting beliefs. Stop it. Where's the guy that will tell you that? That's what I needed in my life over 15 years ago when I was spinning in my head, looking at a divorce, in the lies, in the stories, in the excuses. We got here because of her. No. We got here because of my blind spots. We got here because of what I couldn't see. And no one in my life, no one, and I have great friends, no one took a stand and sat my ass down and told me the truth. Why? Friends don't want to lose friends. They don't want to ruffle feathers. They say the things that are appropriate to say. They keep it sugar-coated, right? And one of the questions that our coaches will ask you, for those guys that apply to speak to one of our coaches, it's called the discovery call, to discover if one of our coaching programs is the right fit for you. They always ask, do you want it straight or do you want it sugar-coated? You know, and all the guys will say, no, give it to me straight, give it to me straight. But the truth is, most guys don't want it straight. Why? Because then when you get it straight and you're given the truth, then what? What do you do then? right? Because once you know a deeper truth, what are you going to do? You can't hide now. You're awake now. You see more now. The invisible has become visible. Now you have a responsibility. And as Tony, one of the participants who's now been with us for about 5 years in our community, says, I joined Man on Fire, and the reason that I decided to move forward with them is because I've woken up and I know that it's too painful to go back to sleep. It's too painful to go back to sleep. But we as men need other men to give it to us straight, to not tolerate and not allow us to lie to ourselves and to lie to other people. Everyone's full of excuses. Everyone's full of stories and reasons and justifications. Rather than just saying the truth, I'm fucking scared. I'm terrified to fail. I don't know if I got it within me. What if I go for it and I fail, or I'm not good enough, or I'm too dumb? That's the terror that keeps guys from taking action in their life. So what happens? Rather than just being vulnerable, rather than just being honest, rather than coming to that humble awareness with humility, we make up stories, we make up excuses, lies, reasons. And then the therapist and your church group or your synagogue group or your friends will just nod their head and they'll give you sympathy. And you don't need sympathy. You need empathy. Empathy is somebody can empathize with what you're feeling. Sympathize, you feel sorry for somebody. You feel sorry for someone, they're never going to change. They're not going to give that up. They get attention that way. They're justified in how they see it. They get to live in their excuses. And as the big TR always says, you're either more committed to your excuses or you're more committed to the outcomes and the results that you're saying you want. So guys are full of stories about what they want, how they want more money and how they want a different house and a different car and a different life and a different job. This is what I want. But the truth is, most men are more committed to the excuses as to why they can't have it or why they don't have it, rather than to the conviction of having it. This is where Man on Fire comes in. This is where I come in. This is where my team comes in. Our claim to fame is we have unparalleled support, challenge, and accountability, holding a man to the fire of who he really is, his true potential. Most men have forgotten what's inside of them. You forgot the bigness of who you are and what you're capable of and what you came here to do for the world. You got caught up in the minutia of life. You got caught up in all the responsibilities. You got caught up at your job, providing for your family. You forgot who you are, though. You forgot what you're capable of. You forgot that you have a deeper mission and a deeper purpose. You forgot that you have faith and grace and gratitude and God on your side. You forgot. And you got plugged into the world of excuses. You can't live like that, gentlemen. We are here to kick ass. We are here to take the island. We burn the boats, which means we leave ourselves no out. All in on our life. No excuses. No, I don't have the time. No, I don't have the money. None of that crap. You make a bold decision and then you find a way to make that decision work. Most men, once I figure this out, then I'll do it. Doesn't work that way. That's called wasted time and a wasted life. Once the kids go off to college, once I have enough money, then I'll do all these things. That's not how it works. That's called an excuse. You're scared. Just say the truth. I'm scared. I don't know how to do it. I don't feel smart enough. I don't know if I have it within me. At least be honest about it. No excuses. Honesty will set you free. The truth shall set you free. So, who's Man on Fire for? It's for the guy that's done making excuses. It's for the man that's ready to invest in himself and in his growth and has the courage to bring that version of him to the world, to his children, to his wife, to his friends, to his family, to humanity. It's for the man that recognizes he can't do it alone. He wants support. He knows he needs challenge. He knows he needs to be held accountable. That's intelligence. That's not a sign of weakness. That's intelligence. Telling another man, hold my ass to the fire. Don't let me shrink. Don't let me contract. Don't let me hide. Don't let me make excuses. Don't let me sell myself on my own lies, and don't buy into my lies. That is what Man on Fire is all about. We will not buy into your lies. We will not shrink. We will not contract, and we will not let you hide. We will not let you lie to yourself. And guess what? It's not for everyone. Many men won't even show up for their discovery call. already deep into their excuses. Stop it. Stop hiding who you are from the world. Stop shrinking and come back into the remembrance of the courageous warrior, king, gladiator, leader that you were born to be. You are so much more than you have been living. You were born to have passion, power, and live a life deeply on purpose, fulfilling your mission, letting God work through you. Let the faith come through you, but don't hide behind faith. Don't pray on it, meditate on it to avoid taking responsibility, to avoid taking action. God's always with you. God's always putting people in your path. Always. But you got to take action, and you got to stop with the lies, and you got to stop with the nonsense, and you got to stop with the excuses. So if you feel my fire today, you feel my fuel today, yeah, I'm angry that you've sold yourself short because you don't get the ripple effect. You don't get the magnitude of the impact that you could have on the world, starting with yourself and then your family. You bringing the bigness of who you are to the world. That's what we need. We need more men like that. This is a call to action to you guys. Yes, we got lots of free stuff out there. Podcasts, videos, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, all these platforms. You can soak up all my information. And most of you won't do anything with it. Just like a book. What are you doing now? So many guys talk about, I read Way of the Superior Man. Amazing book. I read it. It is an amazing book. No More Mr. Nice Guy. Yep, amazing book. Great. What are you going to do about it? You're still in the stands. Get down on the field. Accumulating information becomes more painful when you don't live it. Man on Fire is about helping you live it. Get that information that's in here, drop it into your body, live it in your life. Be bold, be courageous. Give the world the real you. This is who you are. So for those of you that are ready, really ready to stop with the excuses, and you want more than just this free social platform that you find me on, and you want to be held to the fire, you want to get inside one of our coaching programs, yes, you're willing to do whatever it takes to invest in yourself financially and your time, then let us know. Let us know. I am ready to grow. And we will have someone from our team reach out to you. Gentlemen, it is with so much love and so much gratitude to each and every one of you. I truly wish you knew how much I cared and how much I love. From myself down through my team, the respect that we have for all of you. But part of respecting you is calling you forward, not tolerating you shrinking. It is time to rise. It is time to reclaim our passion, our power, and our purpose, and be the guardians and the gatekeeper and the protector of the feminine heart on this planet. It's your man on fire mentor, David Mailer. Thank you for diving into the center of the fire with me today as we discussed how your excuses are destructive to your life. So much love, guys. I'll see you inside one of my programs. Bye for now.